Ladies and gents, you're listening to HauntsRUs, the podcast that's haunted on Maine. I'm your host. Oh man. Alright.
We do.
It's like, right when I was saying that, I'm just like, wait a minute, who am I?
Existential crisis.
An existential crisis during the intro. It's like, who am I?
This took us 5 tries, ladies. Come on.
This is just so fun hanging out with y'all. Anyways, you're listening to HauntsRUs, the podcast that's haunted on Maine. I'm your host, Cheeb, and I'm joined by my 2 co-hosts, Gato and Nikkita. Tell us about yourselves, ladies.
Hi. What up, y'all? I'm Gato, and I'm bald.
She's bald now.
I channeled in on this spooky episode of the 07 Britney energy. I gathered it up, and so I'm ready to talk some chaos.
Now we have to change your design. Oh, how could you?
All that chaotic energy into one.
Thought he's gotta delete my main. He's gonna be so mad at me.
You're just gonna erase it. It's not even gonna look good.
Just cut this area right here.
I know, especially if she matched it up like with all of us. She's just gonna be pissed and be like, glue your hair back, get a wig, go to Party City, get a wig.
Oh god, that's so gonna be this episode's this pictures episode. It's just her trying to glue
my hair back.
This is the mental breakdown episode.
Yeah, I'm
alright.
Well, hello, my name is Nikkita, and I am not a changeling. I said I was gonna have my slogan, and that is my slogan. I am not a changeling. There, let us start this show now.
Alright, tonight's episode is about Siren Head and creepypastas. What is up with those, man? Like, why do kids like him so much? Y'all ever think about that?
Why do they gain popularity, huh?
Yeah, man. So yeah, it's gonna be like a really laid back, chill episode. Put this on while you sleep. It's not a quality episode.
Unscripted episode number 55.
We're gonna be like, we have scripts, and I'm just like, yes. Sometimes the episodes have thesis statements, and we never get to them, so...
And then you just like look and say no.
What was that?
Then you just look at it, all the script that we're supposed to do, and you just say no. Never mind.
Yeah, pretty much. Because, like, you mentioned a thesis statement. I didn't know we had to do that for this podcast. Or any podcast.
I do.
Thesis statements are included in podcasts. The things you don't learn.
Exactly. Like I'm back in school. Like, man.
Yeah, and I gotta write your fucking essay. It's like each episode of this podcast is like when we're all assigned like a paragraph to like an essay, but I just do everything anyways.
Yeah, I remember that.
Bro, I hate those. I had to do one of those for online school.
Well, anyways, back to the creepypastas.
Yeah, man. So anyways, I didn't know what Siren Head was until I had like this little kind of babysitting gig going on during COVID. I know. I have a feeling that place probably shut down. They weren't, like, the kids weren't wearing masks or anything. But anyways, that's a story for another day. But, like, it was, like, this whole thing where, like, we had to, like, make sure they were getting on their online classes. Because, you know, people still be working during COVID, you know. We're living in the dark ages here in the States.
Of course.
But, yeah, like, every now and again, like put on Siren Head, and these were like 2nd to 3rd grade. These were little kids. They're putting on the Siren Head on their computers, and I'm just like, bro, what is this? And it's like some sort of lanky, mummified creature making like the what is it called? You know, like the emergency broadcast system. Yeah, that fucking portal sound to hell or whatever.
Yeah,
it was just doing that sort of wailing and like sirens and things, and it's just like, bro, what is this? Why are the kids always putting on the Siren Head? And then when it wasn't Siren Head, they got really into Among Us, but that's another thing. Yeah, man,
Yeah.
I'm gonna talk to you guys about Siren Head today, since it was the hot shit.
Yeah,
for a bit.
it got really popular. I found this out because one of the people I like in YouTube, he played a game based on it, and I decided to look it up a little bit. So the creator of Siren Head, made him back
Trevor
in 2018.
Henderson?
Yes,
Yeah,
he
Trevor
made him back in
Henderson.
2018, and like apparently he has like another one as well, like some like Cartoon Cat, I believe it's called.
Yeah, Trevor
And-
Henderson has like
Yeah,
he has like a whole portfolio of like these sort of cryptid creatures that he likes to draw. I'll put a link
and,
down of like his artwork. So he likes to do
Yeah.
a lot of like photo bombings. So his style of artwork is usually like a really grainy picture and then like a painting or like a 3D model of like a cryptid or like a ghost like in the photo. It's really cool stuff, but this the Siren Head is like his most popular creation.
Yeah, it is, and I can see why it's very unnerving. And
Yeah,
and it's pretty cool to see how like one creation can blow up. When I found out about this whole Siren Head, I was kind of worried because I thought like, oh no, is this gonna be like a whole nother Slenderman incident? Because we all know how that went down.
Oh, and it's like the
Oh,
character
right.
design is like very similar. Like Siren Head does have like some similarities to Slenderman in that it's like a tall, like fleshy
Lanky.
Slenderman. Like a tall,
Yeah.
fleshy. Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
so
but, like,
I was
Go on.
quite worried that it would go like it would go the whole Slenderman route because of because we all know how that story ended, and it was not a happy ending until recently. And yeah, so I was just like, ugh, so many people can profit off like another person's work so easily, and it kind of trips me out.
Yeah, one of the interesting things about like these creepypastas and everything is that like the thing that makes it interesting is that other people can add on to it and make their own stories and add to the lore. You know, like once the creator puts it out, like it's just sort of out in the open. So Siren Head has like a couple of short movies on YouTube, and it has like a video game that's been played by all like the fucking big YouTubers. I saw one with like Markiplier. It's like a very simple game. I feel like all of those games are usually the same. It's just like, it's dark, you're in the woods. It's like a black metal music video. It's always dark and in the woods, and you're just rocking out.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, it's a simple game. It's just like a simple mystery game. Like somebody went inside and you're looking for them, and you find out what happened to them, and you're trying to escape the fate that happened in them. And it's quite easy to escape the monster because there's literally nothing else to it. You just have to make sure the monster doesn't get you. And like
It's one of those.
Yeah, it's like quite similar to like some of the Slender game, like the early Slenderman games.
Oh, dude,
But,
those were like stupid popular for a while.
Oh yeah,
For
like,
real.
stupidly popular. Now everything just gets popular and it just goes down. It just takes one bad apple to ruin the rest of the rest of everything. I mean, thanks of the that little incident, Slenderman went all the way down. And because that Slenderman went all the way down, Creepypasta just like got pushed to the background, because when Slenderman came up, all kinds of different things like Jack the Killer, I think it's called.
It's Jeff the Killer. You gotta say
There
it
you
with
go.
like an Italian accent. Hey, it's Jeff
there
the
you go.
Killer.
There's Jeff the Killer. There was Bill. There was like all kinds of different things that are going on, and it was really like it was going crazy for like a good amount of years. And then this happened, and then everything just like, yeah, nobody wants to talk about you anymore.
Ooh. Man, remember when like
Yeah.
people would ship themselves with like Jeff the Killer?
I know. I was like, what
Yeah,
is
there was like
No. I've never saw that.
you
and I
never
hope I
saw that
do.
art.
No.
You never
That was
saw
just disgusting.
you never saw Anime Bishi Jeff the Killer?
No.
Well, it's out
I hope-
there.
Oh. Oh. Wow.
Yeah, man. The thing about Jeff the Killer, too, is that the original creepypasta is, like, fucking nothing, dude. Have you guys, like, watched or read it?
Oh, I think I read it, and, like, they were supposed to, like, add... Apparently, when I first found out the whole thing, I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna see just for the heck of it. And I read, like, the post that was there. I'm not sure if it's the original one or not, but it also included a photo, and they said, like, oh, if you see the photo, you're gonna be the next one to die. I'm like, well, that's stupid right there.
Yeah, I think,
Like,
the photo
I'm into
is
this
more
kind of things,
scary
but-
than the story.
It's more disturbing than scary.
Yeah, there's, like, a lot of
And
debate about, like, where that picture came from. People like to say it was just someone who posted, like, a selfie on 4chan, and then people just, like, messed with it to make him or her look more and more uglier each time. That's one of the supposed origins of the Jeff the Killer picture.
Yeah, and it was just like, it was just very, like, the story, the vibe I was trying to go with, and then you just added that photo there. It's just like, it threw everything off for me. Like, you're supposed to make this, you're supposed to make a horror story, but all you're doing is just making something that's just like, oh, okay. And then you just add that photo. It's like, okay, it's a little disturbing, but it's not horror. I'm not gonna be like, he's gonna come get me. So, like, I don't know. I just never got the appeal of it, at least of him.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what... I think the only appeal to Jeff the Killer was, like, the cool photo, and I think the photo came before the story, because I think the story is just, like, a boy gets bullied, and then, like, he gets bleach on his face, and, like, I guess he kills one of the bullies, and that's the story of it. And it's just like, Jeff the Killer looks like he's fucking 30. Like, what do you mean this is a child?
Yeah, a lot of... If you go to the original Creepypasta wiki, you'll find, like, so many of them are just, like, they're trying so hard, and they fail miserably.
Yeah, sometimes, like, the image is more interesting than the story.
Yeah. What are your thoughts?
On Jeff?
Yeah,
you want to? Do you want to fuck Jeff the Killer or what?
It's like, because you're talking about it, and I'm just trying to think back. Like, did I really, like, miss out on that? Because I remember Slenderman, and I heard about Jeff. I mean, I never.
You never saw Slenderman X Jeff fanfiction?
No.
You never saw the art?
Oh God!
Am I gonna? Oh,
you're gonna do not look at it.
I feel like I have to for science.
No.
Yeah,
I always
thought the Jeff the Killer picture was really scary, but now I see it and I'm just like, this shit.
That's just gnarly. Because because talk about creepypastas, I always thought about, like, the other one. It was like a mobile game called, I think, Granny. It's like a horror.
Oh yeah, Granny.
Yeah, I know the kids were into that because I remember one of my younger family members was really into, like, that game. And, like, I played it, and I was like, what the hell? Why are they, like, what is the connection with, like, children, like, liking horror things? Like, that's something that's really interesting.
Yeah, it is.
I'm just stuck with
I mean, I don't know, like, I've been liking indie horror a lot more than mainstream horrors. And I know the reason why is because the mainstream horrors have, like, so much, like, restrictions against them that they have to cut so much things, and that they can't, like, sometimes it just loses what made it, like, so cool. But indie horrors don't have that restrictions, don't have anything like that, and it's really cool, and I really like it.
Yeah,
and
man.
one of the things, they have more freedom.
One of the cool things about, like, just the horror genre, even, like, the creepypasta, is that, like, it makes it accessible to everyone. Like, anyone can make a horror, like, an indie horror film on, like, a low budget, and anyone can write a creepypasta, which I think it, like, it adds to its appeal, because people could add on, or, like, have their own interpretation of, like, Bishi, like, Jeff the Killer, you know? And I think that's one of the things that makes it, like, accessible for kids even as that. Like they themselves could write a really bad creepypasta about what they think is creepy, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they have that ability to like expand the lore, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It really is. I think that's the appeal of creepypasta, is that you literally can make anything, and if it, so long as it brings you horror, who knows who else it can bring horror to, and then that can be a creepypasta right there.
Oh no, Gato found the ship art. I see it.
I told you.
Tell Sock Monkey to put that on the screen.
No, I fear for her.
Bro, speaking of like have it being like a super accessible genre that anyone can enter, did you guys like ever get really into like the SCP Foundation? Did you guys like get really into those stories?
Okay, I've only recently got into it.
Yeah?
Yeah, and that's because on YouTube there's this channel called the Rubber. Mm-hmm. Don't think of it as naughty, Chibi. I could already hear the gears in your head. Well, yeah. So his name is the Rubber, and what he does is that he animates summarized versions of every SCP there is, or the more interesting of ones. He gives down like basic information. He gives it like how they were found, how they were captured, what's the procedures on them, and some interesting stories that goes with. And I like his animation style, and like he has like a nice clear voice, and I like it, so I enjoy his videos. So that's the reason I got into SCP, was because of him.
Yeah, dude, I remember SCP being something that originated from, like, 4chan, because, I'm sorry, guys, my dark origin story is that I browse 4chan. I don't browse it as much anymore, it's not as fun anymore. But dark origin story, I used to browse 4chan. And it originated in the paranormal board, because unless you're, like, a 4chan person, so, like, 4chan is just, like, a big image board. There's 2 boards that I know are like notorious for like having like bad takes and bad opinions and bad people. But there's like a variety of interesting boards that you could go into and like chat with people. And on the paranormal board, like role playing was kind of like a big thing for a while. People would like share their own creepypastas and like back then people would just make posts and there was no way to, how do you say, ¿cómo se llama? Not to control, but there was no way to, how do you say, to save it. There's no way to archive it. And so like people really like this whole style of like, oh, it's like a file on like some sort of cryptid from like a shady bureaucracy. So then they got like the Wikipedia, and that's when it like really blew up for a lot of people. And there was like like some, how do you say, there were like prominent writers and like there were prominent characters that everyone knows like the fucking paper mache baby thing. You know what I'm talking about, right?
The paper mache baby thing? No, that sounds absolutely horrifying. But
yeah, well, the original picture of it, I don't know where it comes from, but like it looks like a figure made out of paper mache. It has like a giant head and like a little body, and it looks like a giant fetus sort of thing.
Ew.
Oh, Lord.
No.
Yeah, you guys don't know what I'm talking about?
No.
It's like the most popular, like, SCP character.
No, I'm just getting woke by this.
Wait.
Man.
Wait.
Lord.
It's been in it. It doesn't like people looking at it, right?
Yeah, the one where it's like, if you look at it.
Yeah. His name is Shyman. Yeah, you were saying something completely different, and it just popped into my head, so I was like, yes, I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah, I don't know the lore, but I know the pictures. But yeah, that was like, the whole appeal to that was like, anyone could like create their own cryptid and like have fun with it. And at some point it blew up, and they had like a mass deletions of people's material. Another thing about that is like, other people could edit your stuff to make it better. Yeah. And so then like, then there was like some conflict with people where it's just like, oh, well, you know, I should have credit for making this character what it is because like I made it cool.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think at some point, you were mentioning this earlier, where it's like, there's problems with like copyright, as in like who owns this material and does it belong to anyone?
Yeah, that actually reminds me of the of an incident that happened, I think last year or the year before that. It was about the Russian the Russian CPU SCP conflict. Apparently, a guy in Russia wanted to copyright the SCP. And there were so many conflicts because like nobody really owns, like there was a creator who made it, but he gave everybody like free reign, yeah. And yeah, so it was under attack, and for like months and months, and I'm not sure if it ever got resolved. I can't remember, but yeah, so it got attacked. And he wanted to copyright the whole thing, so that way because some people were trying to like, I guess, like make merchandise out of the SCPs that they created, and he saw that they could make money out of it, so he went and made a trademark out of it, and people were like, no, that's not cool, like nobody just like no, this is nobody's thing, but he wanted to trademark it so he can make merch off of it. And then people were just like, what is this? Because who wouldn't want official SCP merch?
But then it's like who gets like the royalties from that? Like the creators deserve like a little bit of that because they're the ones who like made it, you know? So because he's either going to do that or he's going to try to shut it down completely. And so, like, all of Russia isn't going to have the SCP. And so, like, people were like, what? That's not cool. And it went completely haywire because, like, if one guy in Russia can do this, what's to stop anybody else from doing this? And it's just like, wait, what? Like, he's just doing this so no one can make merch out of it without his permission, which means he'll get like most of the shares. And that's fucked up, dude.
Yeah, and everything in the SCP is fair use because it's people are just making it because it's completely in. No one owns like the whole copyright, and so he's trying to claim that he owns the copyright, that this is all his stuff, he needs to be the admin, and like he wants control over the merch of his property, and it's just like, really? That's fucked up. And so everybody's just like, what? Why is he doing this? Like, what's to stop other people from doing this? Like, and everybody just went like completely haywire. I remember Markiplier actually made a video about this because he was a huge SCP fan, and he made a video saying like, hey, like, can you help stop them? Because like, what's to stop other people to do this? And we're not gonna have the fun things that we're gonna have anymore. So it's just like, I'm not really into this thing, but like I can see the problem there.
Yeah, man, it's crazy that like creepypastas have become like such like a big cultural milestone on the internet and outside of the internet. Because I know like there is a show on the Sci-Fi channel called like Channel Zero or something, where they did creepypasta stories. So like creepypastas
cool.
and all of that has become such a giant phenomenon that we have like these legal issues suddenly because it's been here for such a long time, you know? Like people have been writing like spooky stories and like trying to archive urban legends on the internet since like it fucking started up, you know? That's also one of the... Go on?
No, I was just like, yeah.
No, yeah, that's also one of like the fun things of the internet. It's like in the middle of the night you just look up shit that would scare you. Dude, I remember looking up like paintings that kill people on YouTube. That was a thing I really enjoyed looking at.
I respect the grind.
I have no words.
Yeah, man, you didn't look up paintings that would kill you on YouTube?
No, I did not. For what reason
Dang.
would I?
So that way you could die, obviously. To die.
No, that's true. You want to be
Yeah,
the
I
first
really
one?
like...
I'll follow you.
I really like looking up haunted paintings and stuff. I don't know why that was a thing I was really into. I was a child.
Gato, please. Put sense into her.
Oh, what did you see? What did you look up on YouTube that was fucked up?
As a child, man, I just stumbled upon it because when I was first on YouTube, this is like '06, right? So this is like the Wild West, before the algorithm, before commercialized anything. Like, your recommendations were so random, uncensored, right? That type of thing. Like, you know what I mean? I remember just like looking up, because this is like back in '07. It's like I was really into like the music, like the hyphy movement, right? Like, and there was this one song in particular that I liked, called "Ghost Ride the Whip," but because it had the word "ghost" in it, right? In the recommendations, there was like this, like these ghost videos, right? And I was so in tune with it, and it showed like these random, like, just like conspiracies, like these ghosts, like in churches, and like these urban legends type thing, right? And that was like the thing that like I was so invested in until that one time I went through that loophole. I kept going back to that loophole of Ghost Ride the Whip and then ghost videos, and then I saw Ghost Car, and then I experienced my first near heart attack as a kid.
The ghost... Oh, the zombie car?
Ghost
Classic.
Car.
Yeah, the one where it's like the car going down the mountain.
Yeah, beautiful song, beautiful scenery, and then that thing just like popped up. Never again, dude.
Dude, do you remember Scary Maze Game? Did your friends make you play that?
Yeah, in 5th grade, we would make each other play it.
A scary maze game. What are we talking about?
So
the one where like, oh, you want to explain it?
Yeah, so it was just like this, one of those mazes where like you can't touch any of the corners or the lines. And like it got like progressively harder and harder, and if you touch the line, then Reagan from The Exorcist would like pop up and spook you.
Yeah, like really loud, be like ah, and then like, you know what I mean? Like you would just show it to your friends just because you were like addicted to each other.
Jump scares were a big problem on YouTube. I remember that being
so
a problem
back in the day.
Yes.
Way back, even now, but like back in the day, like, oof. It was the Wild West. These kids got it easy, man.
I know. All the stuff.
We were the guinea pigs, the prototypes.
Oh my god, I know so much. Like, I pray that they never like look up like the freaking 20-year-old videos and just like no.
Bro.
Right?
Speaking of like ghost videos, dude, there's like when I was young, I watched like this compilation of like ghost videos, and there's just one that like fucks me up every time. It's like this older woman. She's like in like what I would assume is like a hotel convention area. There's like a bunch of like how do you say, the portable tables, you know, the ones that I'm talking about that they put out for like parties and stuff. So it's like it's a recording of like from the security footage, and like this woman is taking a nap, and like she wakes up, or as she's napping, like there's like chairs and stuff like moving around the room, and like at some point I would assume, because it doesn't come with any audio, at some point like she wakes up from her nap and like she tries to like leave because she sees stuff moving, and then all of a sudden all like the chairs and stuff like move to like the exit and block her, and she faints, and that shit fucks me up.
Whoa. Ugh. Oh,
yeah, man. Security footage ghost, that's my shit. I would watch that for hours on end.
Oh my god. Yeah, we was just like, because it's funny, like I'm really like not too much into horror, but I'm also into it at the same time. So like as a kid, like I would just be so spooked out by like scary movies, in theaters because of the surround sound. But when it came to like YouTube and like those like scary like videos, that was my thing, dude. Like your mind, like your curiosity, you know, it gets the best of you.
Dude, do you remember, like, back in those days, I don't know what it was called, but it was, like, one of those bait click videos, and it was, like, a picture of, like, a baby, but, like, their eyes are all messed up, they're, like, inflamed. Do you guys remember what I'm talking about? And then, like, the description would be, like, demon woman gives birth to, like, demon baby. I remember that always being, like, a thing. Do you guys remember, do you guys know what I'm fucking talking about?
Yes.
Yeah,
like,
and
that urban legend also of like username 666, and it was like babies.
Oh
like,
god, yeah.
Yeah, I remember that. Gnarly.
Oh man. And I think that sort of stuff, because like my mom's addicted to Facebook, and every now and again she'll like show me a video. It's like, look, it's a live footage of like a witch flying in the sky. What is this? And I'm just like, Mom, please. So it's like that culture still exists on YouTube. Not on YouTube, on Facebook.
Yeah, like the older generation keeps carrying it. That's why we still see it around every now and then. This is why I don't have my family on Facebook, because I don't want to see that.
You don't want it.
I block them. I love them, but I block them.
It's like, no. Don't look at me.
Please.
I had to block my mom from Snapchat. I don't know how she found Snapchat.
I don't know how my parents find anything, and all of a sudden, like, I put an Instagram thing in, like, an Instagram picture, and all of a sudden it's like, hey, this person liked you. I was like, Mother, how did you find me? Mother, please stop looking after me. Mother,
the
stop
algorithm, man. No
Stop
one's
looking
safe.
at the algorithm, Mother. Please don't show me these ghost videos. I had enough of those back in 07. Please stop. I already passed this phase, Mom. It's a phase. You'll go through it.
Oh, I remember there was another video. I think this one's more recent, but it was like in a it's always like in a foreign country. That's like the most safe way to play it with like creepy stuff. But I think they were like Russian or something. And like they're driving down the street, and like they see like this woman like hobbling about, and they're just like, bro, that's so creepy. And like they try like mocking her and stuff, and then they try driving away, and like the woman keeps like following them at their pace in the car, just like hobbling. I'm just like, oh, I love that shit, man. You can find that shit on YouTube. Not so much anymore. The algorithm doesn't like
changed.
Yeah, the algorithm doesn't really make it so that you find that stuff organically anymore. If you do, it's always like a listicle and like, hey guys, this is the top 10. Oh wait, no. What's that other guy? It's like, what's that other guy that did like the hamburger foot lettuce?
That's him. Chills. Number 15. Burger King foot lettuce.
Yeah, it's always... Now, these days, you just get, like, listicles, but, like, back in the day, you would just find, like, 2 to 5 minute videos of just, like, raw footage of, like, someone in the woods and, like, they see some fucked up shit.
Yeah, it was the whole...
Like
it was, like, the return of the... Because especially after the Blair Witch Project came up, everybody was going crazy about that. And I was like, yeah, it's real. And they're like, no, it's not. It's real. No, it's not.
Yeah, man, it's always so fun, because it was like, it would always be like these nothing channels, like they wouldn't have like anything uploaded really, and then they'd have like one video of like, supposedly like they see a ghost, or it's like a footage of like someone at a church, and there's like a child peeking on the other side, and then like they go to check if that child is still there, and they go around the corner and there's nothing there.
Yeah, that's what makes it so eerie, like that's like the more authentic feel like I miss, you know what I mean, because you look at like channels now and it's like compilations with like spooky things, but like back in those days, right, like no profile picture, just one video. They had that channel up for like 3 years, and that's the only thing that they have. That's what makes it even more eerier. It's just like, that's like that authentic scare. Kids can never, man. Never know.
No, do you guys remember the Marble Hornets?
Marble Hornets? Elaborate.
Okay, so back when Slender Man was like this whole... In fact, this is actually what helped the whole creepypasta like grow big. It's a series called... It was a series called Marble Hornets, Their Search for Slender Man. So basically what happened was that these group of friends got together because apparently they wanted to make this movie, but they didn't know what happened, and one of their friends goes missing, and they're trying to follow them, and they're trying to like find him, but the only clues they have to where he's at were these videos, and they're all trying just to wondering like what happened to our friend, where is he at, what the heck is these papers that we're finding, what the heck is Slender Man, and along the way like things happen, and like another one like two of the friends like disappear completely, like everybody's like trying to find them, and then you start seeing the friends come back and like different snaps of like everybody's ignoring them, like they don't even know it's there, and he'll be like creeping on the next moment they're like the guy he's creeping up to saying like what the heck is happening, and he sees no one there, but somebody's there, but they didn't know somebody was there. And that's when two new characters were created, and that's where the word proxy comes. The proxy characters come from. Apparently, Slender Man can choose people to become his servants and act as his like arms and legs, proxy for him. And like the whole thing was huge, and it just everyone went crazy over it. Because they're like, yeah, there's like certain amount of videos, like, hey, and like apparently the people who are posting these videos is not even the original people, because all of them are missing, and he's just putting them out one by one, trying to find out what happened to his friends. And then finally, like in the last video, you find out that all the friends are dead or missing, and the guy who's posted up in the video is the last one to go.
Shit, is that what like caused the incident?
Yeah, no, like, yeah, that's where, because if you look into the case, they're like, yeah, we were trying to become proxies for the Slender Man, and that's where that came from.
I didn't know that was a thing, because, like, I was just like, but Slender Man is, like, such a simple creepypasta, though.
Yeah, no, it's the people around him that made everything really creepy.
Yeah, that's the beautiful thing about the creepypastas, is that people add on to it, so it becomes like organically like this bigger and bigger thing. And then it's like because there's like no author, like maybe at that time like people were like confusing it with like something that could possibly happen organically, because like as far as like supernatural experiences, like people have supernatural experiences and stuff like that. I'm not gonna say that's not a thing that happens. This is a fucking haunted ghost podcast, but like some people could be like, oh, this is like, because like there's no author behind it, there's no like author, it's just like people adding to it anonymously, and so it's just like it has like this organic feel to it. So I could
so apparently the most well-known ones came from marble hornets, and so the ones that are mostly known are, because there's like multiple different ones, and so like the Scythe, Antibodies, Kate, and they apparently they're even categorized too.
Big lore.
Yeah, oh yeah, that's like huge lore. Because originally it came from Tribe 12, and then it went to Marble Hornets, which is the more well known one, and like different one like Tick Toby. Yeah, apparently like Tick Toby is supposed to be one. Faceless, and just like. And like groups apparently can be him too. Like Tick and Jack, Eyeless Jack is supposed to be one of them too, and just like, and it's really creepy, because like it went from like found footage just like that, and they try to make a movie out of it, and then things happen. But yeah. So apparently a lot of the Slender Man lore comes from the Marble Hornets.
That's cool though. Yeah, because it's like, it feels so organic the way like people add on to like the lore of like these pre-existing characters. So I think that's what makes it like appealing to a lot of people. And
apparently the videos are still up.
Yeah.
Yeah, Marble Hornets, it's still up, and like apparently there is like another one. There's like, I think like supposed to be like two sequels to it. And yeah, so like there's supposed to be like two sequels to it, and they made it like, oh, like it's season 1 and all that, and it was just like, it's really creepy because like how like it's just like how raw it is makes it really creepy.
Yeah, it adds to like the realism of it if it's like all just found footage and like kind of like low budget.
Yeah. And it's like, it's really creepy, and it's just like, this basically like this series basically brought Slenderman more into the like mainstream, and a lot of the lore comes from this series. Like, I'm looking at the wiki right now. It said like it has 87 entries with 3.5 and 42 videos.
Whoa,
and
shit.
Yeah, it's a lot of videos, and like a lot of them are like cut to different links and all that. So yeah, so like, let's see. So what it says about its origin and history is that MH, which stands for Marble Hornets, gained its name from Alex Craig's film project Marble Hornets. The early entries in the series are clips from filming tapes used in creating the Marble Hornet film. Alex ended the project due to being stalked by the operator, which is another way of, I guess, saying like Slenderman, frequently, and had the tapes over to his friends and the narrator, Jay. Alex told Jay that he planned to burn the tapes, but being a good friend, he was given the tapes and posted them on YouTube in hopes that others could possibly help him understand what was so distressing about these tapes. Alex transferred to another school shortly, and Jay hasn't seen him since. Earlier entries consist of tapes from Marble Hornets film, and those taken by Alex observantly recording himself in order to capture the operator stalking him. Eventually, the entries turned to videos taken by Jay, cataloging his efforts to discover Alex's whereabouts and unravel the mystery surrounding the operator. Over time, Jay follows leads to an old buildings, former homes, and even defunct and abandoned locations, and begins finding these beings stalking his old friend may be deeper and far more dangerous than he thought, and this is a very good chance that he is now being hunted for getting too evolved as well.
That's interesting. Yeah, that has like a lot of lore, a lot of content to it. It's really interesting because I'm looking at like the Siren Head wiki, and like the one thing that this wiki makes sure to do was like give credit to the original creator. So Siren Head in a way is like more creative driven. Like everyone knows that this is like a well-known like horror artist, and this is one of their creations. But like when we get to like Slenderman and stuff, like hardly anyone ever talks about the fact that it was like a contest entry from like the Something Awful forums. Like that's almost like irrelevant in like the scope of like Slenderman lore, you know?
Yeah, that does sound irrelevant. What?
Yeah, because apparently they couldn't use the word Slenderman because they didn't want it like, hey, we don't, like, in case this go bad, we don't want it like them getting mad, so they used the operator or the observer. And it's just it's really cool because apparently there's a character called to the Ark, which it says a YouTube channel owned by a mysterious entity or person from whom these have been theorized by Jay and and others to be multiple people. Their true identities were never confirmed because apparently this YouTube channels were cryptid responses which made threats, predictions, and statements concerning the ongoings of the entries as they went on. So it was another party going into it, and apparently the owners were never identified.
Oh shit, that makes it even cooler when like you don't
even
know
to this day,
because then it's just like who created Minecraft? Hatsune Miku. That's a joke for absolutely fucking no one. But yeah, man, that's cool. I didn't know that Slenderman had so much fucking lore to it. Holy shit.
Yeah, And like, you can't really call it Slenderman because even though it looks like Slenderman, it's not called the Slenderman. It's called the Operator.
Yeah, and that's for like shortness sake, like they just called it like Slenderman in like the news reels, like when those two girls did that. But,
yeah,
like, this is like what motivated
like,
them.
Masky and like Hoodie are like other characters who were like the friends and all that. But yeah, no, even though sorry, but I should have said spoiler alert before this whole thing started. But yeah, it's they came out like in 2009, so like they got some years on them. But
so that's like, hey man, people are in quarantine. It'll give them something to do.
Yeah, like like I saw one of the videos and it creeped me out big time because of how everything was, and like they incorporated so much lore into these videos that when they try to make the movie version of it, it just fell short because it didn't feel like as true as, because apparently a lot of people didn't like it because apparently like it didn't have the same feeling as the series, and also they took off like a lot of stuff and added new stuff in it, and like people were like, no, we don't like this.
Yeah, it's not as rich as the original content.
Yeah, and it was just like everything I'm just saying, it's just like, wow, they really went all out, and I like it.
Yeah, so like where can our audience find like all of the content?
It will be on YouTube. Just put in Marble Hornets. It should be there. Hold up, I'm gonna try it myself. Marble. Oh, it's, well, you know, it's put right there, and boom, I have it right here. Marble Hornets, and you'll know which one it is because it's a circle with a cross with an X over it.
I'm gonna check that out afterwards. That sounds cool.
And it has let's see, it has 5,500 and it has a lot of subscribers, but yeah, 11 years ago, and it has all the entries. Yeah, I'm seeing
check that out.
All the entries.
Marble Hornets. That sounds
back
sick.
From 11 years ago until the latest one, which was of the canon series, which was 87, and they have one more like animated thing on this, which was uploaded 10 months ago. Wow. No, it's like an animated
10
like
months
a comic
ago.
strip
Dang,
thing,
they
and
still
it's
making
only 41
content.
seconds, but yeah, but otherwise everything is in there. Please be of responsible age before you go into this channel, please.
No, be like 10. You could do
not
it.
encourage them, Chibi.
Just be like me.
Yeah,
you have to follow my footsteps.
Bro, this is a Christian podcast. We talked about Jesus on that one episode, so it's okay.
Actually.
So yes, well, that's how it is, and it's pretty interesting about how everything went about and how this like one, like I said, there's supposed to be like other series that are like kind of connected to it but not connected to it, and it's just so interesting seeing everyone's take on this whole thing.
Yeah, man, that's the cool thing. Everyone it's like comic books. Like different writers and different artists could have like their own take on the same character.
I'm quite happy.
Yeah, man, we did a creepypasta reading. Every time we do anything where we read, we call it the sleepy pasta of Elf on a Shelf with a Knife, and I actually really like that
Elf
one.
on a Shelf with a Knife.
I don't know if you've seen it. Yeah, dude, thought he worked really hard on that art. It's really good. The eyes are hyper realistic. Remember when hyper realistic was like the big joke of like creepypasta? Bro, remember, what was it? Squidward's suicide, or was it Mickey Mouse's suicide?
It was Bart's.
Yeah, man, I love those.
I was really happy into that in like high school.
Dude, I fucking loved.
Took the shit out of me.
I fucking love the ones that had to do with like kids shows or like creepy things.
Those were my thing. That was my shit.
No, did you hear about the one, the Zelda one?
Yeah,
Oh, no.
that one's super famous. And then there's also like the Tails doll. That's a creepypasta.
From Sonic.
Oh god.
Yeah,
This song.
it's not a real video game, but there's like this video series called Pets Cop that really like runs with the concept of like a haunted video game. Check it out. It's called
that
Pets
one.
Cop.
Oh.
It's super good. I fucking love Pets Cop so much.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
that one was creepy.
Yeah,
I
things
think-
about like haunted media. Like I love that shit, dude.
Yeah. The one from Zelda is called Ben Drowned,
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
and it's just like, ugh,
I was never a fan of Zelda. I only played like a couple games, so I would have to like play a couple games to like. Would I have to like play like a certain game in order to understand the lore, or that
yeah.
creepypasta?
Well, no, this one, you don't really have to understand the lore for this one.
Oh, it just explains it and
So,
everything.
because, yeah, so
Okay.
what is no? So it's called Ben Drowned, and basically the story like goes around that there's this specific game in the line called Majora's Mask.
Mm-hmm.
So this one right here is a story that revolves around a haunted version of the game that is haunted by a ghost named Ben. And the person who got this game just played it, and he's just going around, and all of a sudden he sees he's seeing something. He's just like, what is this? Is this like a glitch or something? And it just becomes so like he just becomes so consumed about it that he's asking like people online. He's trying to see what's happening, and all of a sudden like these texts were like speech bubbles were coming in, and they're like, there's no way this should be part of the game. And he just goes like he's slowly going insane, but he's still going because he wants to see what happens in the end, which is never a good thing. It's never a good thing. And I'm trying to see like the end of it. So apparently the game's trying to kill him.
Oh shit. Okay.
Oh, that's
The game is
cool.
trying to kill him. So it says right here what he did was okay, let's see, like
Bro.
this is my last day. I'm gonna burn this cartridge and go back to destroy my laptop. This is bittersweet for me. I spent so many games, but I don't want this game just proved to be too much for me, and I'm just glad it happened to me and I could get the warning out so nobody else can go through this. Thanks for reading me. I don't care if you don't believe me. You shouldn't. Thank you for going, and now I'm gone.
Yeah, man. Some of these creepypastas are like these creepypastas are like over 10 years old, dude. There's people
Yeah.
listening to this podcast who've never heard of these classic creepypastas.
Yeah.
Well, that's
Boomers
about to change.
pastas,
I
man.
hope y'all check it out because we in quarantine, so y'all have time to check them out.
Yeah, man, that's been like my
yeah.
whole quarantine thing is let's just like check out things that I liked as a teenager and just run with it. You guys,
New
I'm gonna
metal.
go back to
Yeah.
drawing horny art.
Oh, please.
I'm just
don't.
gonna
Go back to
indulge
listening to
now.
new metal.
But yeah.
I'm gonna listen to new
Okay,
metal and
so-
draw boys, man. Men even.
Listen to my emo
Okay.
music.
Guys,
Mm.
so what was your first introduction to this whole thing? I'm not sure if we talked about that.
First introduction to creepypasta? Bruh. Because I never read Jeff the Killer, but I saw the images, and then, like, my imagination just ran wild with it without actually, like, reading the story. But, like, creepy...
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so like I said earlier, I used to browse 4chan. And, like, I don't know if this is, like, necessarily a creepypasta, but it was, like, someone's experience. So, like, I was, like, really into, like, reading green text, which is essentially when, like, a poster, like, very quickly tells, like, their story by adding, like, a little greater than sign, which turns the text green on 4chan. So what they do is like they tell the story in sort of a listicle way to make it easy to consume. And I remember reading this one story of like this girl who had this apparition that would come at night and like speak to her. And like I think it was like sort of like a sleep paralysis sort of thing going on. I can't remember because it's been so long since I read this story. And because of like the fact that it's like it was like posted on 4chan, like the only way it's been archived is like screenshots of the text, and like it's difficult to find. But from what I remember of it, it was like she had like this entity that would visit her at night, and like it would speak to her. And like she would try to speak back, but it wouldn't respond. And like this story would like come back in parts. So it's like she'd be like, tonight this happened. And then like she'd come back like 2 or 3 or like a week later and be like, this happened again. And it was like chronicled that way, which made it like really interesting to read. And the thing that was fun about it is like people would like start making fan art. And like since it's 4chan, people would be like, have you tried fucking it?
Oh my god.
So yeah, I gotta say that's like... Yeah, I gotta say that's... My introduction to like creepypastas and stuff like that is like people sharing their stories on 4chan, usually like days at a time. But like so much as like going on like a creepypasta website and like participating in that, not so much. I think when it came to like creative writing, I did like a couple of fan fiction here and there, but that's about it. Nothing creepy. It was all yaoi. You guys, I just wrote a bunch of gay fan fiction, dude. It's fine. I was really into Watchmen, so I was really into Rorschach, X and Night Owl, and then I was also really into Tiger and Bunny, so I was really into Katetsu X Barnaby, so... That's old shit, too.
Children. Children, listen to this. And I'm a part of this now.
Yeah, man.
Why?
What was your introduction to creepypasta?
Go Gato.
I was in high school. I think it was like a freshman year. And like I would have friends share with me like these videos. Like it was all YouTube videos of like cartoon creepypastas. So like the first ones were like the Bart is dead real.
Oh, the dead Bart.
Yeah, those ones. Like it was like a channel like
classic.
of like storytelling. Yeah, like the classics, you know. So it was that, or like the haunted video games. Like there's like the cursed Donkey Kong cartridge, and I was like really into it. Like in high school, like if I had free time, like I would just put on my earphones and listen to like the spooky stories of just like that, or like also like cartoons. You know, like the Ed and Eddie creepypasta
The one where they're
conspiracy.
all in purgatory.
Oh, yeah.
No, they're all ghosts. Not that one,
Yeah.
no. The one where they're all ghosts and they just chill in the cul-de-sac, and it's all these other sorts of things. And like I was really invested into that lore, and then like I would get my friends into it, and they'd be like, what is wrong with you? And I'm like, man, I just like this in anime, dude. Like,
Did you guys ever
like,
read that Ed and Eddie comic where like Ed falls in love with a ghost chicken, or was that just me?
No.
That was just
That was just
you guys never read Curse of the Were-Ed? A classic, essential reading. Audience, go on DeviantArt and look up Curse of the Were-Ed. It's actually a really good comic.
still a thing.
Leave me alone.
Audience, please ignore what Chibi says and do not look
Please
at any
check
of the
it
stuff
out.
that we mentioned, please.
It's really good. Curse
I
of
have
the
seen what
Were-Ed.
she has seen, and it is not pretty, and I wish to bleach my eyes whenever she mentions anything
You
that she has
guys,
shoved into my face.
you guys,
So
be
do
she
not,
Ed.
do not,
From Ed,
do
Ed, and
not,
Eddie.
do not read anything she recommends. Please and thank you.
You just give.
Brought to you by your local Nikkita.
Alright, what's your introduction?
Slenderman.
Yeah, a classic.
Straight up Slenderman. I don't know how I got into my my recommendations, but I accidentally clicked on it and it will not leave me alone after that. I'm just like, go away. no, go away, no, go away. And it's just saying it, and I was like, oh, okay, now I'm kind of fascinated. I wish I wasn't, but yeah.
Yeah, man, and then all of those weird YouTube videos, of course, is what got us into the supernatural. But yeah, man, speaking of spooky video games, we actually have an episode coming up about Polybius, which I think is like, I don't think it's a creepypasta, it's more like an urban legend. So we're gonna be talking about that with Sock Monkey. You guys ever hear us complain to Sock Monkey about things? Yeah, he's gonna be on an episode, guys. The first ever male on the episode.
Now he has no choice but to be on this episode.
You can't flake now, homeboy.
Unless he cuts this out in editing, which he most likely will.
What the fuck?
Just watch this part and it'll never make to the ending.
It seems like a natural time to start ending the episode. You guys have anything to plug?
Please don't ever go after anything she recommends.
Anyways,
You will regret it.
I'm surprised DeviantArt's still out there. Like, the moment that we mentioned that, like, I just feel old. Like, you're really, like, revealing how old we really are.
yeah, man.
Like, people in the comments are gonna be like, hello, boomers. Y'all still go on live journal?
Well, they won't if you keep talking.
I was like, okay, boomer. Dang, I
post
can't
your
believe we
fanfictions
revealed
on
that
live journal.
everyone on HauntsRUs is a fucking boomer.
You're talking about new metal and creepypasta. 07 YouTube, like, that's just giving away our ages.
It's our unique experiences, man. It's what makes the podcast. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed this fucking 2000s, early 2000s talk of like the internet. You were listening to HauntsRUs. My name was Cheeb. What are your guys' names?
My name is Nikkita.
My name is Gato.
And this was HauntsRUs, where we were haunted on Maine. Now we end the episode.
Yay.
We end the episode.
Hey.
You guys gotta say bye to the audience. Let's start playing that outro music.
Do we have outro music?
We have outro music, dude. Did I ever tell you that our music is created by the
boss.
Donk Monk on YouTube?
No.
Yeah, man, we have original music.
Please look at his YouTube channel. Well, when it's being plugged inside. Thank you. And have a great rest of the night.
Oh, bye. Sleep tight.